Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. Joseph Mazzola joining us here today live on the podcast and the Zoomcast to talk more about his amazing career he has. And if you're looking at him, that's one of his views, right, Joseph? He's the founder of Dreamscape Aerials, and that's one of his own pictures. So where is that taken from?
Thanks, Jill. Good to see you again. So that is a shot of Central Park at the Golden Hour while we were on site for a project on the Upper East Side a couple months ago during the spring.
Oh my goodness, it is amazing. And here you are with your company. Some people might say, well, what does he do? Is he a pilot? Is he a photographer? Kind of both. Explain what the job is and what you're doing specifically.
For sure. To everyone joining for the first time, my name is Joseph Mazzola. I'm the founder and operator of Dreamscape Aerials, LLC. We're a professional drone service provider based here in New York, Long Island to be specific. And we work all over the tri-state area in a bunch of different industries and applications, using drones for a variety of purposes, such as real estate, construction, monitoring, marketing, TV and film productions, and so much more. So it's been really cool to get into. We just passed our 4th anniversary in business, kind of aligns with my birthday. And yeah, things have been exciting, working in a lot of different areas, doing some consulting work as well. And I thought today, since we're doing a live stream, I could show you some of the work from our YouTube channel.
Amazing. I would love to. Absolutely. And by the way, what's the website, how we can find you?
That's www.dreamscapeaerials.com. And we're on social media at dreamscape_aerials.
Perfect. All right. Excited to see. So let's share that screen and see what you have for us today. I can't wait.
Thank you. 1 second. So I'm hoping the audio will play back. This is a little highlight reel from the 2022 business year.
Wow.
Oh, here we go.
Awesome.
You may notice Adventureland there, along with a bunch of other local locations.
Oh my goodness. Whoa, what's that?
Which one?
Oh, I know. It goes so fast. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Can you pause them? We could talk about them?
Sure.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh my God, look at that staircase.
Was that the shot you were talking about?
Yep.
So this is the Great South Bay Music Festival. We just got done covering our 3rd year. This was our first year back in 2022 there. And judging by the turnout, that looks like Sunday's date. Definitely the highest number of people they have. This is Shorefront Park down in Patchogue. And over the span of 4 days, we record all the artists, do aerial overviews of the property and the festival itself. And in recent years, we've gained additional capabilities using really lightweight drones that are compliant with FAA regulations. We're able to fly much closer to the stage and get very dynamic shots.
And that was just last weekend?
Yeah, the 18th through the 21st.
Amazing, because I saw all the signs for it, but I didn't get to visit. But that looks amazing. I don't even know where that was, in that lake in Patchogue. Is that Main Street?
Yep, south of Main Street, right on the water.
Oh my goodness, beautiful. So it's south of the hub of all like the restaurants and all, and like.
Right.
What's this motorcycle one? Hold on.
That was a stunt show over at Harley-Davidson in Nassau County.
Okay.
This is Ernie Vigil and Nikki Apex, 2 professional stunt motorcyclists. We were able to film their show using an FPV drone for audiences outside of the Nassau County Harley-Davidson and Triumph shop, which was for their grand opening.
Wow. And what's an FPV drone? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the term.
No problem. FPV stands for first person view drone. That's where the operator wears a pair of goggles and while working with a visual observer, conducts a flight operation that's much more dynamic, able to get closer to the action and get some really captivating shots.
Oh my goodness. This is pretty exciting stuff you do. I also saw some images of the Montauk Lighthouse, which we've talked about before, and it just popped up on the screen. I think that might be next.
This is actually, this is Portland, what was it? Portland Light up in Portland, Maine.
Oh my goodness.
California. near Mammoth,
Wow.
a local shop called Seasonal Scapes here in East Northport, New York City services, and weddings, of course. So thank you for letting me share that. Maybe next time I'll share the more recent one. Um,
Amazing. These are great. This is the recap of just 2022, but boy, oh boy, you have so much more. And clearly that looked like a New York City movie shot. They're going at this, and you do work with movies and television productions too. That's like what you see with the opening shots of New York City. That's like the exact thing you did. Is that from a movie or that was just your shots?
So yeah, those were my shots. It was for a real estate project in Queens or Brooklyn, I believe. And the exciting thing about New York City is that drone operations are now more permissible by obtaining NYPD UAV permits to operate in those areas.
Got
So we had
it.
an FAA airspace authorization for that first one, but now it's even more comprehensive. We're able to work with the municipality directly.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is an exciting job, and there's so many people that you cater to. We also have the summer here. You mentioned there was a wedding in one of those shots. You're doing a lot of wedding and those type of events, and I'm sure the fall even more so. Do you have a favorite? I mean, because you're working in all different areas. What is your favorite type of work? Do you have one in particular?
I've brought up the opportunity to film for Discovery Channel that I ended up doing last month on a couple recent episodes, which is definitely a thrill. And to just not pinpoint one, I would say any project that challenges my skills, lends itself to something philanthropic or, just exciting in general to be a part of bigger productions and opens me up to traveling. I love opportunities like that, just the
Um,
ability to grow.
wow. And for people out there listening today, you're working in specifically in what areas here in the region?
Currently, been doing a little bit of everything from covering local races for a Race Awesome is the name of the company. We
Mm-hmm.
work in solar, inspecting rooftops, making 3D models of properties, real estate. Just did a commercial project out in New Jersey the other night. And
Wow.
at the moment, I am trying to do more consulting work. So had a meeting earlier today with a local township that's interested in incorporating drones into their public safety and even search and rescue operations. So they'd like me to come in and potentially train their people to get their licenses, which also lends itself to another avenue of our business, which is education. Through Aerial Advantage Academy, our drone training program, we have a portfolio of classes suited to a couple different demographics and objectives. Be it a 3-day program to prepare for the Part 107 exam and get your own license, versus a 1-day engagement where younger cohorts will get exposure and on hands-on training to fly drones in a safe and controlled environment.
Oh, that is super cool. How did you learn? When was the first time you ever put your hands on a drone?
The first time I flew a drone, I had no formal training. I just was a bit of a movie buff and it looked exciting. So I bought a cheap one off Amazon and quickly got it stuck in my neighbor's tree. But that didn't deter me. Slowly upgraded, got some better equipment, stuff with a better camera, GPS to connect it and hold it in place better. So my first few years were really just in a recreational sense, flying, finding local places to fly or taking you with me on vacations like out to Vegas or the Bahamas, and that just kind of inspired me to keep running with it. So once COVID hit, I doubled down on trying something new, pursued the Part 107 license, studied independently for it, and passed. So that first summer of 2020 was actually mostly spent building my business itself, forming a website, registering the LLC, and building out assets to draw business.
Oh, beautiful. This is great. The work that we talked about that we've got to see, it's beautiful. And I just find you're seeing so many more drone shots in commercials and television. And like you mentioned, for real estate, it's got to be hot because to sell your property nowadays, you got to be unique. They used to come in, I remember inside, but like the panoramic cameras, but now you're seeing all those
Sure.
videos on Zillow of like the whole hover experience above and the whole like drone shot of the house because that's got to help increase value or for your commercial property.
Especially for high listings, and that's something I want to let audiences know we're capable of doing in terms of a full production. We also offer interior imaging. We have a tripod, mirrorless camera, lighting, everything needed to really show off the property. And there's so many new ways you can do it too with FPV drones, like I mentioned before. Drone tours are becoming increasingly popular, where you do a one take, as it's called. It's just one progressive shot where you start on the exterior of the property. And the goal is really to just fly seamlessly through all the locations inside the house you want to show off. And then you have a real comprehensive tour similar to a 3D Matterport scan or something along those lines, but in a more dynamic fashion.
Awesome. Well, what else do you want to share for today, Joseph?
I think there's still a lot going on in the news that people should be aware of. Based on our discussion too, I just want to make it clear you do need a license to fly drones commercially. If you're accepting money for any projects, you should have that. FAA enforcement may be low, but the market is growing. The industry is booming. A lot of people are getting into it, and there's a lot of fears about oversaturation and a lot of novices taking work away and also driving down the value of these projects, which, doesn't reflect well on anybody. So that said, I hope any other drone pilots listening know their worth and, charge appropriately and do good work. Other than that, we have the Olympics that started soon, and everybody seems to be having their own hot takes on that. But what's interesting is for the matters of security, there's a little bit of controversy going around. Obviously, drones have grown in their utility, and there's always going to be some bad actors. So France is taking it very seriously and putting drone jamming measures in place around the games. So it's really interesting to see what law enforcement is doing with that in terms of protecting the athletes and the public that gathers for all these events. There was also a controversy that recently came out. A coach from the Canadian women's soccer team was caught spying on a rival team using a drone, and now they're facing a lot of black.
Wait, what happened again? What team was it?
It was the women's Canadian soccer team.
Wow. And they were using the drone to spy on the competitors.
I wouldn't say the athletes were, but one of the coaches apparently was trying to peep, another team's performance, maybe, study that. So obviously not allowed. I'm not sure if they were faced with disqualification, but it's these sort of things we really want to avoid in terms of bad PR in the news. And other than that, there's new legislation coming to pass. A lot of professionals in the field breathed a sigh of relief when the National Defense Authorization Act, or NDAA for short, didn't include the Countering CCP, Chinese Communist Party Drones Act, which would have affected the majority of drones in the market, which are DJI products. They make up the majority of my inventory, over fears of spying and relaying that data back to the Chinese government. It didn't pass, but there is a Republican representative from Florida, Mr. Rick Scott, who's trying to introduce an amendment. So we're all still petitioning pretty strongly that the value of these drones outweighs the concerns, because DJI has been a pretty responsible company in terms of protecting user data and encryption. So we'll see what comes of it, but we're all just trying to pivot as the industry keeps growing.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing this. And if someone wants to reach out to you for a consultation, tell us about the process.
To get a consultation, which is free, I call it a pre-flight analysis, where we go over all the details of what you want done, when, where it might be, because there are airspace restrictions to consider, along with other things. Please visit us at our website at www.dreamscapeaerials.com. Scroll over to contact and submit a request, where you can share all the details you'd like us to know up front, and we'll get in touch with you.
Thank you so much. All right, Joseph, pleasure having you back. Good to see you. And
Always.
Again, that beautiful shot. Mine's so fake. I mean, I'm sure it's a real picture, but it's not like I took it myself. So that is real. That is beautiful. And that term, golden hour, it's something you keep hearing. I don't remember as a child ever hearing the word golden hour. And now, so is it something new? I keep seeing the orange skies and everyone's like hashtag golden hour.
As you get more into photography, you learn these sorts of things. But clearly, we're both New Yorkers.
Totally. Both Long Islanders. Yay. Thank you again, guys. And looking forward to our next chat together. Thank you so much.
Phil.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.